Hey guys, welcome to Anime Compact. Today I will be recommending the top 10 Chinese anime which are similar to Spare Me Great Lord and Link Click. And if you enjoy this sort of content, then please subscribe the channel and like the video. Full-time Magister, the aloof high schooler MO fan has found himself in a universe similar yet distinctly different from his own mundane one. It's a place where magic has replaced the essence of science. Here, the most capable students are taught to master the wonders of spellworking to fend off large devastating beasts that lurk in the forests surrounding the city. Like his previous life, MO Fan remains the son of a poor laborer and the older stepbrother to a crippled sister. Despite these disadvantages, he dreams of attending a magic school to become a magician, a highly respected and lucrative trade, in order to repay his father for his hard work. MO Fan is accepted into a renowned magic institution. However, rumors spread about his poverty and lack of magical ability, labeling him as the laughingstock of the school. Nonetheless, MO Fan manages to harness not only the powerful fire element, but also the rare lightning element. Now armed with dual abilities, what dangerous encounters will the versatile mage face? Battle Through the Heavens. This story starts with our protagonist Xiao Yan. When he was just a young boy, he had great power that surpassed everyone his age. He was a genius, and because of his amazing abilities, he was engaged to Na Lan, a girl from a powerful family. Just as everything was going well for Xiao Yan, something terrible happened. After he turned 11, his power stopped growing and even became weaker as time went on. After 3 years, he was one of the weakest in his family, and deemed useless by his peers. Because of this, Na Lan wanted to break their engagement as she doesn't not want to be married to a useless husband. This was devastating to Xiao Yan's family, as her family was very powerful and sacred of people who tried to take over. In the heat of the moment, Xiao Yan promised to battle with Na Lan in 3 years' time. If he will win, he can do whatever he wants with her, but if she wins, she'll get to break off their engagement. From there the story begins. Fog Hill of Five Elements. A legend tells that a long time ago, monsters could give the ability to certain elected officials to master the 5 elements. But for that, you have to go through the dangerous foggy mountains. We follow the adventures of one of these elected officials. If you are simply looking for quality animation with fantastic fight scenes, great visuals, heartfelt drama and feels like real Chinese in any sense, Fog Hill of Five Elements is a must-watch. This spectacular series is only short, but will fill you with so much quality, a Donghua that sets the bar so high for a Chinese action anime and can compete even against the Planting Manual. On his way to a convention, Yuan Ding, an otaku, finds himself transported to another world. A fantasy world with magic and demons. After failing the entrance exam at Shuoyu Academy, he decides to become a gardener where he learns about the fairy seed. Yuan Ding's life in another world begins, aiming to collect the fairies said to exist in the legends to change his destiny and become the protagonist of this new world. Spirit Pact. Low on luck after a series of unfortunate events, Yukiko works part-time to try bringing himself out of a life of poverty. After a strange encounter with a white-haired man in a junkyard, Yu wakes up to discover that he was killed in a sudden accident and has become a spirit. The man he had encountered, Tanmoku-ki, is revealed as the 13th Yumeshi of the Tanmoki, the highest-ranking exorcist family of China. Noticing the wandering spirit, he offers you the opportunity to form a pact. He will offer you protection from humans, and in return, you will have to become his spirit shadow, keeping him safe and guarded at all times. From then on, the two face untold challenges in the spiritual world, striving to keep those around them safe from harmful spirits. Along the way, the pact they formed grows into something more, a bond that neither of the two ever expected. Behind their roles as master and servant, a lingering admiration begins to emerge. Way of Choices. At the beginning of time, a mystical meteor came crashing down from outer space and scattered all over the world. A piece of it landed in the eastern continent. There were mysterious totems carved upon the meteor, and people gathered around it wanting to discover its usage. They discovered the way, and established the tradition. Several thousand years later, the 14-year-old orphan Chen Changshang left his master to cure his illness and change his fate. He brought a piece of marriage vow with him to the capital, thus began the journey of a rising hero. I annoyed millions of cultivators. The story is about a student, Jiang Bei, who fought valiantly at the subway station and was blessed by the system. Fortunately, he hosts the system and travels to another world. In this different world filled with cultivators, Jiang Bei had gone from being a trash in a small town to a genius child in everyone's eyes. Relying on the system, Jiang Bei had started the path of improvement and became stronger just by playing treasures and upsetting people. After a series of chaos and poetry battles, Jiang Bei gradually developed feelings for his relatives here. The outcast, one day, on his way to visit his grandfather's grave, Zhang Chulan is attacked by zombies in a graveyard. In the midst of that situation, he is saved by a mysterious girl, who wields kitchen knives in order to kill the enemies. The girl tells Chulan, who is relieved, to face his hardships head-on and leaves. However, Chulan later sees that girl again at his university. From that moment, Zhang Chulan's destiny begins to move. There will be strangers with special powers appearing one by one, with battles involving those abilities. Each episode will bring a new mystery to light. Hero Return. This anime follows the story of Zero, the first real superhero of mankind, and pioneered the appearance of superheroes in the world. However, he suddenly disappeared without any trace after eradicating evil organizations and monsters. Now, he makes a comeback under the guise of his real persona. We will follow his journey and his ideals that lead him to deviate from the commercialized profession of a superhero. The Daily Life of the Immortal King. The anime follows the story of Wang Ling, a genius whose cultivation talents far exceeded his peers, and it only keeps on growing up to the point that he can barely control it. He can defeat any opponents that come along his way, but the greatest hurdles in his life are the challenges imposed by his high school life that hinder his wish for a simple and peaceful daily life. Swallowed Star. One day, the RR virus of unknown origin appears on Earth and disaster strikes the world. The infected animals mutate into terrifying monsters and attack on a large scale. When humans faced destruction, they built walls and founded cities as humanity's last strongholds. The trials that mankind experiences during this period are called the Nirvana period. In such an extreme living environment, human physical strength also gradually evolved and developed, martial arts sprang up. And human physical strength was qualitatively increasing compared to before. And the best of them is called warriors. 18-year-old Luo Feng also dreams of becoming one of them. Right now, he was about to take the college entrance exam and face a choice at a crossroads in his life, but suddenly a monster attack affects the trajectory of his life. The first thing he had to face was the influence of the external environment, which was exerted on him invisibly. Luo Feng's family's poor condition and difficult life. His parents could not give him more help and could only rely on his own efforts. In the end, under constant hard work, Luo Feng continued to explore his own potential and was recognized for his increased abilities and self-esteem. Not only that, Luo Feng not only shouldered the burden of supporting the family but also joined forces with other warriors of justice to face evil monsters, protect the land of mankind for the survival and development of better mankind. In the desperate situation of doomsday, can Luo Feng and the other warriors repel the monsters and successfully protect the human world? This were the list of 10 anime which were similar to Spare Me Great Lord. I hope you have enjoyed the video.